Hello, this is Patrick. Welcome to Chart Built Wealth, Profitable Investing with Technical Analysis. It's Friday afternoon, and since Friday weekly closes are more important than daily closes, I thought you'd like to hear my thoughts. First of all, let's take a look at the overall market. These, as I've stressed, I am not making any market call here. I'm just giving you some background that might affect the recommendations that I've made. So the first one is on the Dow Jones Industrial, and you can see we have a bearish rainbow convergence here. And normally when that convergence happens, two things can happen, or two things normally happen. One is the decline pauses. You're kind of seeing that in the Dow today, actually the last few days, which is a type 1 convergence. And in this type of convergence, we'll see this gold 19-day exponential moving average come down, and then we'll see how the Dow index reacts when it makes contact. The second type of convergence is where the price comes back to the convergence, and then in this instance, it would rally up to the convergence, and then we'd see if it was able to break through. If not, we would have another low coming. So that's the Dow. The Dow is paused as this convergence has happened, and the S&P, meanwhile, continues to decline because we haven't had the convergence yet. It looks like we're going to touch today at the close. And so again, there's two things that can happen. Prices can retrace back to prices can pause, which would be a type 1 convergence, or it can come back to the convergence, which would be a type 2. And I'm actually expecting a type 2 for the overall market. So that's just a basic view on the overall market. I'm not making any call here. It's just to give you some background and context. So here's the first recommendation that I made back, God, I don't know, 4 or 5, 6 weeks ago, actually, on the U.S. cannabis ETF, MSOS. And I made that recommendation with the index at about 860, and today we're sitting at 905. It's traded as high as 1095, but we're in the black. Nothing has changed here. Still recommending the purchase here. We're actually getting a pullback today a little bit. I think it's down maybe 1.25% or something. I bought a little bit more. Remember, my suggestion was every time prices are up, because this is so volatile, if it's up 10%, you sell a little bit. If it goes down 5%, you buy a little bit back. If you're that type of investor, if you're a buy and hold, then you just buy and hold, and that's okay too. But our bullish trend line is still intact. You can see our stop level is at 875. And so nothing has changed on this. I am expecting the overall market to show some higher prices here. And hopefully MSOS, the U.S. Cannabis ETF, will participate in that. And so, again, our price projection here is 13. But that is based on the pattern, and of course there could be more. So stay tuned on that one. Here's copper, the copper ETF, CPER. Talked about the big triangle breakout back several weeks ago, and that we had a potential of 28% upside. And you can see this has been on a tear up 5.5% this week. And if you have it in your portfolio, it's pretty nice compared to what the overall market has been doing, which has been down, I think, every day this week. So we're getting some real alpha with this type of holding. And again, our price projection is 32. We are getting overbought, so please don't buy this today. You want to buy it when it's down. Like back here, we had a down week, gave you a buying opportunity. So Copper looks great. The third recommendation that I've made was China. And you can see this is the long-term chart of China. I just want to show the potential magnitude here of what could happen and what kind of move could possibly this. I think we're at a really significant low, is what I'm trying to say, after an 18-year consolidation. And if we move up to the top of our symmetrical triangle at 4,300, that is, I don't know, 50% upside or so. And uh, I'm not suggesting that, but first things first. And so we're going to look at this small little part way over on the right-hand side of the chart to see what is happening here recently. And this was what I based my recommendation on back, I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks ago. The small inverse head and shoulders pattern, which is suggesting 2750 on the upside. And that would give us a start on this, on what I think could be a new bull market in China after 18 years of sideways consolidation. So as a market technician, I want to identify new trends at an early stage, and I want to stay with those trends until they change. And so we're trying to identify a new trend here. And you can see prices are holding in well. I mean, given the fact that the market, our market is down, I don't know, maybe 3% this week. This has done pretty well, and no change here. You can see our stop, no change at this point in FXI, the China large cap ETF. Utilities was the next recommendation that I made back a couple of weeks ago. And the premise here was that we had a big year and a half consolidation in the form of a inverse head and shoulders, a bullish pattern. Here's the left shoulder, here's the head, here's the right shoulder, there's the neckline. Big pattern. Usually, if it's successful, we'll reap big results. And this is classic. So it had a breakout, and then it had a decline. Especially this week, it declined quite a bit. And you can see our rainbow convergence. This is a bullish rainbow convergence where prices are above the convergence, whereas the S&P was the opposite. It was a bearish rainbow convergence because prices are down below. You can see prices bounced right off of our rainbow convergence, formed a really nice, big, large uh, bullish hammer. And so this looks great. You know, hammers are great when they cover uh, this much in price. And the fact that it's actually ending up in the black, it's actually ending up on the week, is even more bullish. So again, the price projection here is 76, which is 20% higher, and it's got a 3.9% dividend. And over the last few calls, I've been telling you to buy more, why this was down, testing this convergence. So again, everything looks fine here, no change. And so let's take a look at one of the individual utility companies, Southern Company. Again, I'm not a fundamental analyst. I look at charts without a name on them. And so I don't know the fundamentals of Southern Company, but again, we had a big symmetrical triangle over a year and a half time in the making. And we had the breakout, and then we had a retest of that breakout. The moving average convergence is held. We're getting a big up week, up 4.5% this week. In a down market, that's pretty nice. Again, giving you relative strength and something you definitely want to have in your portfolio. So again, the upside here is 90. And from the breakout point, that was a 28% potential upside. And again, a nice 3.9% dividend. So nothing's changed here. It had a successful test, and that's very bullish. Last but not least, we have Bitcoin, the ETF, the Bitcoin Trust Grayscale, which I know people like a couple of the new ones better. I use this because I have charted it for a long time, and so it has good enough volume. I don't see any liquidity problems. But anyway, we got stopped out here. Uh, Here was our stop. We took a loss. Uh, Prices have now regained that stop level, but I'm staying away. And the reason why is if we look at actual Bitcoin, here's the actual Bitcoin price action on a daily basis. So each one of these bars represents a day price action. You can see we're getting a big bullish hammer here, but uh, we are prices are running into a bearish rainbow convergence. So prices would have to get above 66,000 for me to get back in. And unfortunately, Bitcoin trades 24/7, so it'll be trading all weekend. So, uh, if I come in our grayscale ETF, all ETFs only trade during regular market hours. If Bitcoin's up to 70,000 on Monday morning, of course I won't be buying it and I will have missed it, but there's plenty of other things out there. So we're stopped out of Bitcoin. We have a loss, and I'm reluctant to get back in because of this rainbow convergence, bearish rainbow convergence. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and like. I hope you enjoyed Chart Built Wealth, profitable investing with technical analysis. Have a great weekend, and I probably will be doing an update this weekend on a new record.